Good Monday morning, mamas. I'm Heather Sullivan with Leila Photography, and I have in the studio with me today Micah Burgess of Waco Doula. And you are going to want to join us for part one of the interview, so grab your coffee. Just welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Okay, so tell me a little bit about you.
So I am actually from Waco. I graduated from Waco High.
Okay.
I know. I'm a local Wacoan for sure. And my husband and I of 29 years.
Yay.
Got married here, had our first couple of kids here.
Yeah.
We actually have 6 children.
Yeah.
And 3 grandkids.
Oh.
And our first 5 were natural births with a midwife. Our last one was an emergency C-section actually at 27 weeks. So I have experienced kind of the extremes on the spectrum there.
Right.
But I guess I would say that it has served me well in my over 20-year career as a birth doula.
Yeah. And I love that because having experienced a C-section, I think you can come with a lot of grace and a lot of education that maybe a mom who that wasn't their plan,
right,
and experiences it. You can have a relatable, a little bit of a relatable experience there, and serve them well. So I am so excited because you have a new book out.
Yes, I do. I'm an author, which is still kind of crazy to say out loud. Yeah, I just wrote a book. Well, just wrote a book, Quarantine.
Yeah.
And it's called The Humor in Birth,
Yeah.
Stories and Insights from a Doula. It's a book I have wanted to write for years, and it really is focusing on an aspect of childbirth that I just don't think is talked about very often.
Right.
And, most of the time we're reading articles or hearing podcasts about, like, the more serious things about birth and the preparation or maybe what went wrong or the trauma, and those things are important for sure. But I think I'm just wanting to highlight the positive, lighthearted moments in birth. I find that it actually strengthens these mamas when they're able to just feel normal, It helps them relax. It brings them more confidence that everything's okay. And so that's kind of my mission with the book, and it's been a lot of fun. We've gotten some really great feedback on it.
Yeah, I've been reading it, and it has totally made me laugh, which I love. Like, I love to laugh, and so that it is good, but it also is poignant to see all the differences in birth. And I think, having been, photographing births is not my, really my niche. I really stick with maternity, newborn, and childhood, but I have been in some births. Yeah. And I love it because the experience is so amazing.
It is amazing.
It is so amazing to witness it. And so, I just loved reading this, and I could see how a mom could use it. It could be such a resource because it is lighthearted and funny, and you could take that, but there's also that everybody's experience is so different. It is. While there's maybe some continuity between what happens in a birth, and so there's a lot of good information.
Right,
there.
It's like a sneak peek into the birthing room in some respects, and I think not only is it entertaining and funny, but we're definitely hearing from people of, wow, that was very informative too. Right. So it's a fun, kind of unique way to get educated and learn about birth. So we're excited to hear how effective it's been even in supporting moms and allowing them to feel ready for childbirth as well. So
I love it. So I also, just to touch on this, because I think one of the things that stood out to me in the book was you talking about dads. Yeah. And then I just was listening to your podcast. So it has a podcast too. Game Day, Births Not Balls.
That's right.
And so I was listening to, you did a daddy panel. And so that was fantastic.
Thank you. I love that one.
Yeah, hearing from dads. And so what I loved was how you touched on the differences in dads. Yeah. And kind of understanding them and learning the dad and showing them kind of grace where they needed it as well, because they're an important part of the process.
Absolutely. We want these partners to be as involved as they want to be. And so we really support them alongside supporting this mom, which consists of, physical support, of course, like, hey, let's walk around, let's try this position, back massage, let's get in the shower, all of that. But the mental support is super, super important and very, very beneficial to our clients. And so this is where we're helping them yeah, we found the way to breathe and to cooperate with the contractions. Now let's mentally agree and cooperate with the contractions,
right.
and sink into those. And here's what we're focusing on. And that contraction's gone. Let that one go. And, this is what's happening in your body. So much change. Don't worry about the numbers. I mean, lots of progress is happening.
Right.
So encouraging and affirming this mom at how well she's doing. And so then when this daddy in the room is freaking out because the mom is obviously uncomfortable, or they just said, we don't like, baby's not happy with their position or whatever, and they see that I'm fine and that I'm continuing to support, then they're fine. It gives them permission to relax as well. Yeah. Because it is their birth experience too. I mean, they're not doing the work, which is hard for them. They want to do something, right? And so, we definitely want to support them as well. Yeah.
Well, and I'm curious just because I know personally, like, I photographed a birth, and the dad afterwards told me, he said, I didn't think I wanted you here. Like, I didn't see the point. I didn't see the point. Or he said, but now I am so grateful you were here.
Good.
And so, just because you don't realize how much is going on in that moment. And so I can see that's from a photographer's perspective, who I'm just a fly on a wall. I'm not doing anything. I'm not talking to anybody.
You have to be a photo ninja to be a birth photographer.
You're just trying to fade in the background where nobody even remembers you're there. But, I mean, I can see, is that what you are hearing from dads? Like, did they end up, maybe, do they seem to, kind of get the doula concept? What does that look like?
I think initially I don't know that they're resistant, but a little, first of all, a lot of them are confused as to why their wife wants to have a natural childbirth. Like, just get the drugs. So there's that, but, most of them are like, hey, whatever you want to do is great. But they don't totally understand the concept until
they experience
game day, basically. And so when birth is over, usually one of the first things we hear is, this dad looks at us and like, what do people do when you're not here? Like, we had no idea that your nurse can't stay with you the whole time and coach you. That's not her job. That's not her job description, So what do people do without you? And I'm usually the first person the daddy calls when they find out they're expecting, like, put us on the calendar, And so we love that, and even the hospitals now, during quarantine, no one was allowed in.
Right.
And so certified doulas were some of the first people, a support person, that were allowed back into the hospitals to help support these women. And so we're so thankful that people are seeing the benefit, the win of having a support person, and how beneficial it is. Because the truth is, everybody wants a positive birth experience. And you touched on it earlier, you're not always going to get what you want. I would not have signed up for an emergency C-section at 27 weeks with a 2.2 pound baby. Like, that was not in the playbook, right? But what we need is that the proper perspective. He's almost 13, Levi, and I don't look at him and go, dang it, I can get the birth I want. I don't do that. Birth is birth, right? And so what we want as doulas at Waco Doula, our goal is a positive birth experience. I don't need you to have your baby a certain way. I don't keep stats. Oh, we're only like 2% of C-section rates. It doesn't matter. This is about this individual, this person, and let's do what we need to do in the moment for this birth.
And bring the baby into the world.
That's what
matters.
That's right.
Yeah, that's the most important thing. Okay, mamas, I know you loved that because it was just amazing chatting with Micah. I could have chatted with her all day. There is a part 2 because our conversation did go longer. It was so much great content, and I don't want you to miss it. So you can find Micah on these social media sites, her podcast, her book, but we also hope you'll join us next week to hear the rest of the story. So see you soon.